Howdy folks, and welcome back to a Nautical Mile Arc. Today we are in another landlocked African country. Within South Africa, there's another country called Lesotho. I hope I'm saying that right, Lesotho. Small little country, landlocked, near the bottom of the African continent within the country of South Africa. So we're going to fly today in this little country in the B1900D. This is the first time we've taken this back out since I returned. And it's kind of interesting that it's taken so long because this is my favorite aircraft. Although I did update it. There was a small little update. So I updated it. Except there are some weird sounds. It's like the engine sounds are always running. As soon as I loaded the airplane in the sim, the engine sounds spooled up a little bit. So I'm not sure what's going on. You can't hear them from this far away. But as soon as we get in the cockpit, you will hear them. I've not had a chance yet to check out the forums and figure out what the heck is going on. If there is anything to do, I'm not sure. I'm also kind of worried because I was watching a streamer and there's a rumor out there, this might not even be a rumor, that when X-Plane updates to a version that has Vulcan, which is supposed to be sooner rather than later, Sassel is going to break unless it's Sassel 3 or Sassel 4, maybe it's Sassel 3, which this plane I don't even know if it has. So I'm panicking in my ignorance. Because if this plane does not have the most current Sassel, then it's going to break when there's Vulcan update. And is Carenado going to update before or after or ever? Or am I going to have to rebuy this plane? I'm not sure. I'm panicking, but like I just said, I'm panicking in my ignorance. Maybe this plane already has a newest Sassel. And I just wasted 30 seconds talking about nothing. But that is what's on my mind, and I share everything when it comes to flight sim that's on my mind. And I'm also admitting that I might be totally wrong. So I'm going to be doing a lot of research after this video. I'm going to research what this weird sound is. I'm going to research the Sassel thing and Vulcan thing. I just haven't had time to research those things because I'd rather be flying. So that's what we're doing today. We're flying, and I'm circling around because before I started recording, I noticed there is a huge cliff here, which I think is really awesome, which means I'm going to have to check this out in real life. Well, via Google and see what this is, because look at that, there's like this huge cliff. I'm wondering if there's really waterfalls there. I doubt it. Maybe there's this like 2-mile long waterfall. That'd be awesome, but I'm gonna check that out. Look, we're on this like plateau, which that I kind of knew because I did a little bit of research. The city is like on a plateau, and then we're gonna fly through some mountains. This entire country is basically, they took the mountains and drew a circle around it and said that's our country. And that's what we're flying today. That much I do know. If you want to know where we are and where we're going, it's in the description below as always, but I'll try to pronounce what's going on. We are starting at Mejametalana. I'm seeing like it's Spanish, and obviously it's not, but I don't know anything about African languages, and I apologize for that ignorance as well. I should just title this video Ignorance. But I think it's Mejametalana Airport in Maseru, Lesotho, and we're going to go to Qacha neck, and Qacha's neck, I don't know. Lesotho. It's about 120 nautical miles. It's just shorty, especially for this airplane. Shouldn't take us very long at all. But anyway, there's the back of the house stuff to start the video, as usual. And let's hop in this thing now. And you're going to hear that awful sound. Oh, now it's a new sound. It's kind of changed a little bit. Listen when I turn around. It's like the cave sounds in Minecraft. You hear that? Very strange. So it's almost like something is turned on before I turned anything on. And I was kind of going through here a little bit before I started recording and couldn't find it. I even started the engines and shut them off. Now you hear it really well. So I don't really know what's going on. Maybe that's supposed to be like an APU type thing. Do these have an APU? I don't think so. Would be GPU. Maybe that's supposed to be a GPU sound? I don't know. Like I said, I updated this just before I started, so I haven't had time to figure out what the heck happened. All these lights are still on by default for some silly reason. I had to turn those off when I started. This other stuff I turned on purpose. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to have to do some research, like I said. All right, let's move on. Let's pretend everything is normal. Let's pretend everything is normal. And let's take out our paper checklist and let's get going. So I do have GPU turned on via this switch right here, but that has nothing to do with the sounds because the sounds were on before I turned the external power on. So let's just pretend it's a GPU sitting outside the airplane until I figure out what's going on. Let's get our fuel loaded up here. 121 nautical miles is about, in this thing, after we get to cruise, it's about 25-minute flight time or so. So let's just keep our fuel the way it is. I want to get going by 1 o'clock local time. We do have real world weather turned on, and the wind is ridiculous. It's 25 knots on the ground. So we'll see. It's coming from 290, and we have a runway 29. So we'll head into the wind when we take off. I'm leaving it real world because it'd be kind of funny if we get blown all over the place on this thing. And landing might be a disaster because it could be. Oh, speaking of landing, supposedly now, between the X-Plane update and the Carenado tiny update, we should be able to land by the book and not get sucked into the ground. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, review every Carenado or every B900D video I've had where I talk about how you get sucked into the ground unless you goose the throttles, which is not realistic. I have a real life pilot friend who used to fly one of these, and he said you land at idle, and you're supposed to in real life, but in here you couldn't. Maybe we can now. We will see. We will see how it goes. We'll land by the book and see see what happens. All right, here we go. Let's get this thing going. I had to redo all my presets too. Oh, my frame rates are good in this one. Battery. There we go. External lighting, which means wing load on recog for right now. Those other ones will turn on later. Remove the static elements. I don't even think I had the static elements on. Oh, I did have the static elements on. Okay, static elements are gone. Close the baggage drawer. Whoops. Oh, I had this all set up and then I rebooted the sim because I thought I would get rid of that sound and I forgot to redo all my things. So the immersion just kind of got spoiled a little bit, but who cares? Cockpit door as well. There's a hand thing back here. There we go. That should make the sound go away too. And wing windows. I don't have to listen to that awful sound, whatever that awful sound was. Emergency lights. Whoa, well, that's a different airplane for that preset. Arm and normal. And if you want to see what the lighting looks like, have all the lighting turned on so people can get their stuff stowed away while we get ready to go here. EFIS. Turn that on. And make sure the parking brake is set, which is down here. Is it? Yeah, right there. Parking brake is set. Fuel switches on, or auto, I mean. And this views, this is the view of the quantity. It's not a tank switcher. It just views the tanks. Starts with auxiliary, so we'll start there, and that gets it over to the main tank. We have so much fuel we could go on this trip 3 times. Prop lever to feather. I just adjusted my preset for this. What did I give it? What did I give it? I think it was, I don't know. What is it? This one? There we go. Feather. What is feather? All the way back on this one. Engine auto igniters. Don't I need to do my fuel? No, that's in a second. Jeez Louise. I used to have this memorized. It's been a long time. Engine auto igniter. Arm. Engine switch. How am I going to do this from here? Hang on. Let's do it like this. Engine switch. When it gets to 15, we introduce low idle. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And let's see if it runs up on low idle. If not, we have to put it full idle. And it's going to work this time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm talking about the conditioners down here. There's a low idle thing you can't really read. But it's there, I promise. It says low idle. See, right there. So anyway, when this stabilizes, whenever that's going to be, we can start the other one. All right, there we go. We're going to keep a low idle until we get in the runway. Let's start the other one now. And we are stable. Let's come down here and let's do generators left and right and close the guard. And auto igniters can come off. Avionics switch. It's the red one. There we go. AC bus is up here. Sync the... Oh, I don't think we have to sync them anymore. I think they fixed that in the tiny update. Good. Turn off external power. Rudder boost. Climate. I can't see with that in the way. Bleed, blowers, heater. Furnace on. Let's do auto temp. Although auto temp makes it very, very hot. Auto speed, overspeed, I mean, and stall test. Put that back in. We're done over there. All right, flight plan in the GPS. First of all, let's clean up our Avidyne. There we go. Flight plan in the GPS. Get rid of what was in here from before. This does scroll wheel, yes. Okay, good. Some of them do scroll wheel, some of them don't. Okay. We are going to Foxtrot, X-Ray, Quebec, November. So let's get that in here. There's Foxtrot, Quebec, no, X-Ray. And there you go. Hit enter. Do we have an approach? Nope. So we will need to land visually. We are not going to have an instrument approach. All right. What if I hit none? Just curious. Okay. Let's get out of that. That's not going to work that way, is it? We got to clear. There we go. Okay, fine. So let's do VNAV since it's such a short flight. So gosh, I don't even know the destination of our... I didn't look up our destination. Altitude. Let me look that up super fast. One moment, please. 6,100 feet. So, and it's a tiny little airport, by the way. So 6,100 feet. Let's put this 1,000 above that. There's terrain around there though. So let's make this 7,000 at, let's say we want to be 7. No, let me think about this. Let's do 7,000 a couple miles before. That way I can come down if I have to. I'm just winging this. Before our destination. At 800 feet per minute. And then that will fill in once you're moving. I just wanted to do that now. Okay. Only 77. Oh, 77 is a crow flies. That's only 2/3 of what I expect it to be. Okay, that's a quickie. That's a very quickie, which is good. We could use a quick flight. We've had some long ones. All right, well, there it is. Let's do the 50 mile. 50 mile, there you are. Okay. Are we gonna cruise? Yeah, let's use our cruise. Let's use autopilot in case I want to do some sightseeing and not crash. Okay, so, oh gosh, 77, we're not going to get very high. Let's do, I'm trying to think of this. Are we going to even make it to 12,000? We're at 5,000 now. Yeah, it's going to be a low one. It's going to be a low flight. We'll do 12,000 for cruise. I think when I checked terrain, it was 8,000. I can't remember. Okay, there we go. CDI to GPS. Right there. Notice, oh, by the way, the nav data is not out of date. I updated it. I remembered to update my nav data. Avidyne already did that. Radio's instruments, there's nothing to radio and instrument. There just isn't because we're using GPS for everything. No approach to load. It's going to be a visual landing, which makes sense. It's a teeny tiny little airport. The weather is 29, 25, 29er, 9er, 7. 29er, 9er, 7. Wind is coming from 290. Take off a 0, 29. We have a runway 29. It's this one right here. So we're going to back taxi in the dirt and use the dirt because we can. 25 knots. That's going to be ridiculous. But we're going to try it. Cloud should be high now. Yeah, we're going to get some IMC, aren't we? That's okay. That is okay. All right. We already tested the sounds. Let's now test the lights. Good. All right. Cabin pressure. We're going to cruise at 12. So we want to make this 13. Doesn't even go that low because don't really need it. Let's just crank this up, bring it back halfway. Adjust that if we need to, which means As long as they stay in the green, you live. If they're in the red, you're dead. That's how I look at it. All right, auto feather to arm. Auto feather to arm. Where are you? You're down here somewhere. Where are you, auto feather? Oh, it's the red one. Generator ties closed. Auto or anti-ice and all that good stuff. That's what I use. I don't use the other ones. Prop sync on. You can put that back in. Okay. Next page of the checklist. We're moving right along today. Autopilot. We already set that. TCAS. We have a TCAS thing on this one. There you go. Don't really need it though, but just in case. All right. Whoops. Wrong one. Taxi lights on. Props to taxi. Conditioners low idle. Props to taxi. Hear them change. Conditioners still low idle. And beginner taxi. So let's hop outside. Release that parking brake. Adjust my rudder. Pedals are way too close to my feet. Now they're way too far from my feet. And we're going to give a lot to get through on this dirt here. Come on. You can do it. Oh my, broke free. First set of flaps down. Good grief. It's a whole like friction thing when you're off-road in X-Plane. It takes like full throttle to break free. And then once you do, you got to be careful because you go fast. There we go. Let's try to keep this as smooth and realistic as possible. And we're going to get blown away. So you can see the wind. Oh my gosh, the wind is blowing us. We're not even moving. What I love about the dirt like this is even though we're causing a ruckus, the wind actually blows it in the direction that it's going. See that? Isn't that awesome? That is such a cool little thing. Which, you know, it makes sense, right? It should be any other way. But given it's a simulator, you never know if those, you know, what it does. But I'm going to taxi to the end of this runway and spin this around and get out of this dust cloud, and I will be right back. All right, we have to make a turn around from inside because it is just too dusty to see where I'm going from the outside. Are we going to make this? Come on, you can do it. Nice. Oh, don't stop, don't stop. Oh, I brought back throttle and now we're stuck. There you go, full throttle to get going, and that is good enough. Stop right there, set the parking brake. All right. How did we do? Oh, we did well. Good. All right, let's see. Flaps down, yes, we can confirm by looking here. Now we gotta do all of our lights. Okay, so reading light can stay on, but cabin full comes off. And the overhead flood comes off. So if we look back here, it's nice and, whoa, I got extra light on. It will be nice and dark once I get the right lights. What is it? Overhead cabin, here we go. That's what we needed. Oh look, the amps went way down. Something started on fire. There we go. That's what we wanted back. All right, tactile lights off, landing lights on, anti, and all this stuff can come on as well. We'll just do it instead of say it. Trim for takeoff, which is just the green thing in the middle like that. Heading bug in case we screw up autopilot, we just push it. Oh look, 290, huh, interesting. And we're gonna do what? Let's get autopilot going. We're gonna do nav, and we're gonna do alt select. Oh wait, no, it's climb. Then alt select. Oh, did I do that backwards? I thought it was a 2-button thing. No, it's descend. That's a 2-button thing. Let's do an aggressive 2200. Get over the landscape. All right, I think we're good. I have to use this autopilot engage now, but that's okay. So we're ready to go. We're just going to take off, engage autopilot almost immediately like normal, or maybe I'll hand fly a little bit just to get us on track. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, let's do mode here. Is it this one? Start the clock. And props and conditioners forward. And we're going to hold the brakes a little bit while we spool this thing up. Whoops. Shoot. Hang on. There you go. Did the wrong one. Hold the brakes while I spool up short runway. And we're going to blast this thing. Full blast. Oh my, the wind is already taking over. That's that X-plane wind. As soon as you move, it's like a hurricane. Yeah, I got almost full left rudder. Look, we're dogtailing going down the runway. We're going to have enough runway for this? Oh yeah, there we go. Wow, barely. Whoa, this wind. This wind is ridiculous. Gear coming up. Flaps coming up. And I really wish I could view outside. We'll do a tower takeoff view here. Oh my gosh, I really want to see some stuff. Let's hop outside super fast, because this is too gorgeous to not notice. Ooh, my anti-aliasing I'm kind of noticing a little bit. Look at that. This is a really densely populated area. Interesting. I'm trying to make it turn while I sightsee. It's not going so well, is it? Oh, it's not too bad, actually. All right, let's do autopilot now, just because I got everything lined up. Should be pretty smooth handoff. Okay, fine. I was turning a little aggressive for autopilot. But that's okay. So we're ready. We are all set. So what are we going to do? We are going to give this a second, and then we are going to do a replay of the takeoff, and then I'll do engine management. Oh, how nice is this? Let's look at the sky. Good. Let's look outside super fast before we hit the clouds. Wow. That's awesome. I think that's going to be a good screenshot right there. Yep. And there's another plateau. Lots of plateaus around here. There's your airport. There's the surrounding area if you want to know what it looks like from the air with all the mountainous terrain. Very nice. Okay, let's watch the replay of the takeoff. And there we go. The tower view just happens to be on the taxiway for some reason. So this isn't as awesome as a view as I was hoping, but I guess it works. No, without a real tower view, that was terrible. All right, forget it. Let's just hop back to real time. All right, looks like everything stayed for us. Let's see if it screwed up our lights and stuff, because sometimes it gets screwed up. No, oh good. So replay view with this airplane doesn't screw up too much stuff. All right, it is time to manage some engines. Bring those turbines back to the green, although we kind of already are in the green, because your altitude is so high. Bring our props a little bit though. There we go. Everything's in the green, starting at the top. Well, let's bring that back. There we go. So we got green, 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 and green. Good. All right, 17 minutes, but we'll level off soon, and then we will take off like crazy. Look how we're turning to the right to stay straight because it's so windy. All right, after checklist, we don't really have one. We just have a cruise and climb and cruise. Throttles back we did. Calculate VNAV already did. Let's actually check that out while we're here. That'll go down very quickly. Landing lights off at 10K. We're going to keep them on just because it's a short flight and our ground elevation is so high. Thought we were going to keep our landing lights on for this. Standard barometer 18 doesn't apply. All right, approach. Altimeter barometer based on weather. Landing lights on, flaps, and gear. So we already have landing lights on. We'll get our destination weather in a moment. And flaps and gear, obviously, it's way too soon. So anything to talk about? Not really. We'll try to land this plane by the book, like I said. But with this insane weather, it's not really going to be by the book because we have to do a very strong crosswind landing, probably. And then the suction thing, we'll see. Hopefully we don't get sucked down. We'll try to talk through that if it's applicable. But look at that gorgeous view. Very short flight. Look how fast this is coming down. Top of descent is only in 6 minutes. So I want to keep an eye on that. I want to keep an eye on my engines, which everything seems to be okay. And I'll see you at top of descent. Alright, top of descent is in 2 minutes, so we're gonna get ready here because it's a very, very fast flight. We're only how many minutes into it? 7 minutes in. But let me tell you, this has been absolutely gorgeous, even though we're probably dangerously close to that terrain. Well, let's hop outside a second here. Let's give this a little bit of space. But just look at this. The clouds and the mountains. Looks like there's some water over there possibly, unless that's just a rendering issue. Who knows? Probably a blending issue. Yeah, it's a blending issue with the clouds, but that's okay. Otherwise, it's incredibly gorgeous. I'm glad we didn't go over there because we would run into those mountains. But just look at this. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. The low visibility, the mountains, the little cities in the mountains, the roads in the mountains, the clouds, and the B-1900E, my favorite aircraft for X-Plane. I don't know why that terrain blending is so goofy though. So be it. I think I have it cranked up. I'll look later. But anyway, time to descend. We're at 7:02. So what do we want to do? Our descent is going to be. Let's get this down to what was it supposed to be? 7,000. Let's get it down to 7,000. That way, if I screw up, we won't run into the ground. And I think it's just one button descend, right? You just hit Alt Select. No, hit descend. Then Alt Select. Good grief. Why am I getting that backwards? It's been a really long time, but I just don't know. We still got a lot of terrain in front of us, though. We'll have to see how this goes. Normally, being IFR, you wouldn't be like, hey, how are we doing with the terrain? It'd be like, no, we already know what the terrain is. So this is kind of a mix of improper IFR and just go for it. Oh boy. We'll see how this goes. We might crash, everybody. Let's soften our descent. And let's just perhaps circle to land once we see our destination. And let's slow down. How far away are we? 7 minutes, 36 miles. Let's keep our speed up though. But let's just be careful, because this destination is within the mountains anyway. So it could be like, you know, down in this area. So it might be a circle to land type thing. Yeah, let's not descend at all right now. Let's just stay level and hope we don't run into that mountain. Oh, this is not our proper flight, folks. This is not how you do IFR. IFR means you know your altitude. You know when you're going to change altitude. You know where or how high you need to be or how low you need to be at a certain place on the globe. You don't put autopilot on and look out the window and say, I think we're going to make it. That would be VFR flying, and even risky VFR flying. We're supposed to be doing IFR flight, but we're new to this region. And I didn't realize it was going to be so mountainous. I knew there's a plateau. And I knew the country was in the mountains. Like I said, they circled the mountains and said, this is my country. But I didn't realize the terrain was going to vary this much. I thought we'd be fine. Just be level and stay there. But, nope. So, anyway. Jeez. This is scary. There's a mountain behind these clouds, everybody. Obviously, you're watching this video. So, if something happens, we're watching it happen together. And if something does happen, we'll do this flight over again. Huh. Very interesting. Okay. Well, we need to really use this GPS to figure out where we are then, because it's really going to... like I said, I knew it was going to be in the mountains, but it might really be in the mountains. And there's airports all over the place. If you look at SkyVector, if you go to SkyVector and pull up Foxtrot X-Ray Quebec November, you will see around there are little airports in these mountains all over the place. And this probably, now that I'm thinking this out, this probably should have been a Twin Otter flight or even a Beaver flight. This probably shouldn't have been a flight for a 19-person turbojet like this. But that's okay. Like I said, if this doesn't go well, we'll redo it. And the reason you're watching this means I kept the video, obviously. So let's prepare for landing. Let's find ourselves somewhere. Is our destination? Yes, there it is. Oh, look at, they're not even on the map. So if you look at SkyVector, there's tons of airports all over the place. But there's only 3 here in the sim. That's interesting. And my data's up to date. Oh, good. Maybe we can fly straight in. No, because the wind's going to be... Well, let's see. Oh my gosh. And it's a strong wind. This is not going to end well, folks. This is not going to end well because we're going to have a really, really bad crosswind in the mountains and a relative, well, for this airport, a large aircraft. Okay, takeaway is 0. That's 28. Closest we get is 32, which means you got to turn around. So, okay, 23 knots. This is not going to go well. You know, let's think about this a second. All of my crashes, except for the 727 the other day, all of my crashes have been in this airplane in the mountains. Isn't that funny? That should be telling you something, right? Do not fly this airplane in the mountains. No, not a good idea. We'll see. If this doesn't go well, I'll redo this flight, like I said, in a different aircraft. Maybe not in the next video, but I'll redo it. Because this is scary. This is not good. So we know 12,000 feet is too low. We know we're 3 minutes away. And I would really like to start coming down. Because what's our VSR? See? I would really like to come down. But we can't. And it's going to be kind of like, there's your airport, nosedive, circle to land type thing in this aircraft. Oh, this is very scary. Look at these mountains out there. When I checked SkyVector, I thought the trains were like 8 grand. Maybe I was looking at something else. Maybe this is just 8 grand. Maybe we are 3,000 feet above these mountains. It doesn't look like it. I would say we're not even 500 feet above these mountains. Yeah, 500 max above these mountains. So that's not very smart, is it? But anyway, we're going to keep going here together. It's been a short flight so far, so we're just going to talk through this. Let's see. You know, like this could be this could be like one of the airports, for example. It's not, but it could be. So that's the type of thing we're going to be looking for here in a minute. Look at that crosswind. Wow, look at that. We're going in this direction. Look at. Holy cow. So let's think this through. If the runway is going to be 32, which is going to be, well, I'll show you the direction of it here. Like this, 32. The wind is coming from here. So we should have a pretty crazy crosswind from the left. I'll try to execute a crosswind landing best as I can. But we'll just have to wait and see. So the airport is directly in front of us. We will circle and land. It's only a minute out. So let's really draw back our speed. We still have autopilot on. We'll keep autopilot on for a minute. Let's get down to 160 or so. And then we'll start the flaps, and then we'll do gear and final. This is probably airport right here. No, is it? Oh, very well could be, couldn't it? Oh boy. Yeah, that could be your airport right there. It's so foggy I can't see. So let's kill autopilot. And let's is that our airport? We got our binoculars here. It is. What we could do, which does happen in the mountains sometimes. Oh, by the way, props are forward, throttles are back. We're gonna nosedive here. So what we could do is just land with a tailwind, which is not the best idea, but it can be done. But you know what? Nope. We're so high we need a circle to land anyway. So let's just circle to land. Use as much space as we can. This is a tight fit, isn't it? And we got to bleed off a lot of speed. So let's set our heading bug to 32-ish. Does it work on this one? Yeah, let's set our heading bug to 32-ish. So we have an idea of the orientation of the airport. We'll come back. 321, good enough. We're passing our waypoint. Yes, GPS, I know we are. Okay, how are we supposed to land this thing? Look at this mountain right here. It's just worse on the other side. So we're just going to come out here so we can bleed off some altitude, and then we'll bleed off some speed. And we know the orientation of our runway because of that. And we're completely hand flying. And I think we're going to do it. I think we can do this. Let's turn this way now so that we have the airport. So we're parallel to the airport. This will be our downwind leg. Oh, this thing is so nice to hand fly. I love this airplane. I am noticing flight dynamic differences in this new X-Plane version with all the aircraft. So they must have changed something. Oh dear, let's not get too low. Because we have to clear this terrain as well. But yeah, let's not get any lower than this. Okay. Now we're going to bleed off some speed. Let's do first set of flaps. Just so we can kind of hang out at a little slower speed here. We're not quite parallel to the runway. That will give us a lot of space. Get some throttle going here so we can stay level and not lose any speed. Reviewing the approach. We're going to approach at 110. That's that flag right here. And then we're going to well, touch down at the white arc at 90 something. Whoops, shoot, I was looking at my flags. Okay, let's level off here. Now we're parallel to the runway, and let's keep our speed up on 140. Trim back so I don't have to pull back on the yoke so much. Let's try to do level flight at 140 if we can while I adjust my flags. So this touchdown, I think, is 92. You stall at 86 if I remember. So there's 90. There's going to be our touchdown speed. This will be our final approach. Whoa. Weather just updated. Okay. That'll be our final approach speed. This will be our approach speed right there. So approach, final approach. Touchdown, I think, is 92 if I remember right. And then 86 is stall. Now, the reason why I'm thinking this through is before, even though I had all that memorized, it didn't matter because of the we gotta climb, we gotta climb. Why are my frame rates so awful? What? I normally, in areas like this, even with full weather and detail in this plane, I normally get like 90 frames per second. What the heck? We gotta climb. Anyway, I used to have all those figures memorized for approach and landing this thing, but with the suction problem, it didn't matter. It was moot. But in theory, let's try to stay at 140 though. In theory, you want to approach at 110, final approach at 100, and then touchdown at 92. And let's turn back towards our runway now. We're going to have to realign our GPS. Whoa, we're going to have to realign our GPS to spot it, though. Because we're in the mountains, I don't know where we are. So let's keep our speed down. We have our flag set if this does actually work out. The weather keeps updating like crazy or something. Alright, that is runway orientation, but if you look on the GPS, we're not actually lined up with it. So let's go like this, and it's going to come quickly too. So let's start slowing down. We do have first set of flaps out, right? Yes. So let's look at that GPS. I'm looking at it over here in the corner of my eye, and as soon as we get lined up with it, we'll turn back to runway orientation. But as you can see, we're a little bit past it. Well, let's keep that speed down, but let's not decelerate or descend either until we've cleared this mountain. So let's keep our speed about 140, and this we can come in nice and slowly, so we should have time to spot the airport. Yeah, it's right behind that huge mountain, so we're not quite lined up with the runway. We're kind of at an angle, but that's because of the terrain. Whoop. No, let's stay level. Let's not descend. This thing really wants second flaps, doesn't it? But I don't want to give it second flaps. Alright, 140 and level flight. Come on, we can do it. We can do 140 and level flight, can't we? There's level flight, but that's not 140. So let's level flight and let's trim for 140. 145, good enough. Coming down to 140 now. We're trimmed pretty well. Okay. Here we go. Going to clear this mountain and look for this runway, and then it should be a little dog leg to the right. Actually, not a dog leg because we're parallel to it to the left. So it'd be kind of turn to the right, turn to the left. I just want to get a visual of it here. There you go, level flight 140, maintaining. Gear, let's get gear down. We have first set of flaps down. Landing lights are on. We should see an airport here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. Oh, we're actually to the right of the airport. I guess that would make sense, wouldn't it? Oh my. Yeah, we were 500 feet above the terrain. Nice. Okay, here we go. Throttles back, nose dive. I don't know how else you would do this. I guess maybe you wouldn't have such a big plane land here, because our speed now is going to be way too much. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Second set of flaps. That's just slow us, or just cause some drag, slow us down. Our approach is way too fast. We got to bleed off some speed. Yeah, we got to come down. Okay, there's our approach speed, but we should be at final approach speed now. Oh, this is going to work out. Oh, we're sinking. Why are we sinking? We got both set of flaps out. We got gear down, and we're way above stall. So why were we sinking? Okay, there's our final approach. What? We're coming down the side of this mountain. That's hilarious. Oh, are we getting sucked down? Are we getting sucked down? Let's just use this as our... Oh, gosh. Oh, that crosswind. Look at that crosswind. Okay, we're getting sucked. Why are we stalling at 90, 100 knots? What? What's wrong with the flight dynamics? Why are we stalling at 100 knots? What the heck is that? What? What? No. That's not how this works. You don't stall at 100 knots. You stall at 86. Weird. Well, we didn't crash. That was bizarre. Both set of flaps... Oh my gosh, the wind. Both set of flaps were down. And we were stalling at 100 knots. You're supposed to stall at 86. Oh, man. Did they screw this up again? Did Carenado do an update and then X-Plane contradicted their update? That was really bizarre. That was super bizarre. I can't see anything. Let's just go over here and park. Well, we didn't crash. It was a rough landing, but we didn't crash. Weird. Well, looks like we have to do some flight practice in this plane too. We'll make a video out of it anyway. Props back to taxi. Conditioners back to low idle. Very strange. I don't know. That was weird. Alrighty, let's park this thing right about here and stop. Set the parking brake. 25-minute flight time. Our landing lights are blinding everybody because I was too busy surviving. I'm going to turn the landing lights off. Well, everybody, you can start gathering your belongings. Whoops. What am I doing? This one. I apologize for the rough landing. Not sure what happened there. What do we got to do here? End of flight. Let's skip a few checklists here because I was landing the plane. Taxi license come off now, it says. And all external lights can come off now. Fuel off, props back. And external power, it says. Well, I gotta remember to get rid of that before I come down here. External power. Battery off. Turn off everything else, it says. That's what it says. It just says turn everything off. Let's see. And fuel off. There we go. Well, I don't know what happened. At least we didn't crash. Although, oh, that's because the props are still spinning. You can't open the wing windows if it thinks, oh, if it's going too fast. Are the winds so strong it won't let us open the windows? Because that is a thing. If it's too strong, like if we're going down the runway, the wings will close. Yeah, the wind is too strong. We can't open the windows. That is awesome. All right, let's open all these doors if we can. Well, let us open. Won't even let us open the doors because the wind is so strong. We can't even open the doors. That is really funny. Can we do the baggage door? No. Can we? No. Okay. Well, the wind is so nutso that we can't open anything. That is awesome. We've had that happen in the Beaver a lot when we do some crazy Alaskan flights. Anyway, thank you for watching. I apologize about the rough landing, but we've got to figure some things out now that the sim updated and the aircraft updated. And I got to hit the forums. I'm going to try to figure things out on my own, and then I'll hit the forums. Because the Carenado forum within the X-Plane forum is really difficult to search because every airplane is in one forum. And it's very difficult to find what you're looking for. So I'm going to try to figure out myself both that weird sound that we heard and the weird landing. Speaking of the sound, if we jump in quick, do we still hear that sound? Yeah. You still hear that sound. So I don't know what that's supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to be a GPU. I don't know. Well, we got some research to do together, but I'm going to do a regular flight next. I was going to use this airplane for it. Maybe I still will. We just know the landing is going to be awful. Anyway, have a regular flight next, and then we're going to have a few practice flights with both this and the 727. So look forward to those, or not, as I said, and I'll see you next time.